Here. Joining me now, Senator Tommy Tuberville. Senator, now walk us through the math, because, again, there's analysis that I'm looking at that shows that there's not really a lot in the way of spending cuts in this current blueprint, and that, in fact, it would be a small increase in spending, and the cuts would actually that exist are quite modest. What is the truth?
Well, first of all, Laura, thank you. But in the Senate side, we passed ours on Friday. It's really no cuts at all. It's pretty much we're spending more money, but we have to have it for the border. But in the House, they are cutting some money. 10 years, it's obviously not going to be enough. There's going to have to be some adjustments. We're going to have to work together to get this done. We'll probably have to conference both bills to try to make it work. But at the end of the day, Laura, everybody knows this. We have to cut spending. That's the reason DOGE is so important. If we don't cut spending and grow this country, we're not going to survive as we know it.
Well, former Senator Claire McCaskill is trying to turn rural voters against Trump. Watch.
The billionaire class did not put him in office. Who put him in office were poor people and, frankly, rural America. So what Donald Trump is really doing, he's taking from the poorest people in America, primarily in rural America, and he's making the middle class pay more for health insurance.
Now, Senator, I know we don't know all the rural voters were a major reason why Trump won, correct?
Exactly, and he's trying to save the rural America and the middle-class workers, Laura, because if we don't get these tax cuts, number one, if we don't get these tax cuts, every one of the middle-class Americans next year will pay $1,000 per month more in their check. So it's obvious what we have to do. Again, the Democrats have no game plan whatsoever. They should never even speak, because for 4 years they have run this country straight into the ground. All they've done is spend money, and they've created such a disaster for President Trump. But he has a game plan, and the game plan is to cut spending and grow the country. And if we don't do those two, then we're going to have a very, very tough time.
Now, Senator, will the Defense Department budget be cut? Because we're going to get to this, but I interviewed Secretary Hegseth. He has some, goals in that arena. But will that happen? That's $850 billion, and we know there's a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse inside the Pentagon spending craziness.
Yeah, because we hadn't had a decent audit of any of the money spent in years and years and years. But at the end of the day, DOGE is going to help there. Pete Hegseth has welcomed DOGE to come into the military. We have to start in the Pentagon. We need to make a trigon, 3 sides instead of 5 sides in the Pentagon. It is way too big, way overbloated. They have, 40,000 people in the Pentagon, then 100,000 people across the street in Arlington that are making tons of money. We have to cut back and do it for the warfighter, help the warfighter build equipment, do the things we need to do. We can get the cuts, but we need to continue to do what Pete has done, is cut out all the bloat and all the DEI, get our military back to a killing machine, somebody that can protect this country and our allies.
Well, President Trump had a very strong reaction, Senator, to the budget resolution, writing on Truth. Big first step win for Speaker Mike Johnson in America. Now let's start to balance the budget. It can be done. Well, we haven't balanced a budget since, 2000, I think, something like that. It's the last time we balanced the budget in the United States of America. We had a surplus, or we had a surplus. That just should be obvious that that's where we need to get to.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's going to be hard to do, but it all goes back to we're overbloated. We have a business that's way overstrained in terms of people working in the federal government. We have to do things to help the American people, put the American people first. And right now, American people have not been first until President Trump took office about 20, 30 days ago.
Senator, are you for the golden visas, where you get $5 million to invest and you get a golden visa? Is that? A lot of people want to park a lot of money in the United States. I'm not sure all of them the people I'd want to welcome into the United States, but there'll probably be some vetting. But what's your view on that?
Well, it's a very unusual idea. Only President Trump could come up with that. I've played golf with him before. He comes up with 100 ideas and 18 holes of golf. He's always thinking about something to make things better. He's a business guy. And so we'll see where this ends up. But it's very unusual. But again, at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we bring in good people. If we bring in people that can help this country from being illegal to legal.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people, a lot of money, are not necessarily good people as well, Senator. But I hear you. We'll see. It's devil's always in the details, and a very interesting idea, no doubt. Thank you so much. All right, up next.